Good day guys, MFWest here, and it has finally happened. I woke up this morning, went on to Wowhead, and I saw changes, spell changes and updates for 8.1, and I scrolled down and holy shit. So good. Okay, now, I want to get excited, right? I want to get fucking excited and fucking run around the backyard 100 times and scream. But we have to wait. We have to wait till 8.1 comes out. What I'm going to tell you now is subject to change. As always, these changes will go into the PTR and they might adjust them. But from what they've done, they've actually TLDR. They've taken Unholy and they've gone, what is Unholy missing? Let's fix that. In PvP, remember this is nothing to do with PvE, but you can see some slight changes to us in PvE, but this whole video is about PvP. And guys, it's good. I think DKs, mark my words, are going to be the overlords of Season 2 Arena. Season 1, I don't even... Do you guys even remember Season 1? World of Warcraft BFA? I don't remember it. Like, I've just been on vacation, you know? Don't even remember it at all. So, without further ado, let's get right into the changes. And here we are. So, the first thing that you see on the page is that the Veteran of the Third War. Okay, so that was literally a passive for blood DKs only, and it's one of the reasons why blood DKs had such a high HP pool. Now is a stamina passive for all Death Knight specialization and grants 10% additional stamina for Frost and Unholy DKs. Amazing. So we have more HP, which means that our Death Knight, our Death Strike is going to be we're going to be healing a lot more now, because remember, your Death Strike is based off of your HP. So that is very, very good. Some blood DK nerfs. This is just the change highlights. Let's get right into the nitty gritty stuff, guys. The stuff that you really want to see. So, okay, ignore the blood DK things. They did get a few nerfs, guys. So we don't have to play blood DK as an arena. The first thing that we see here is that Death and Decay. We can now use Death and Decay effectively in arena. Death and Decay was literally a tool to just break rogues out of stealth. I mean, in threes, if they were all clumped up, you'd pop it down and you get 3 clawing, like your Scourge Strikes on everything. Now we can use Necrotic Strike in D&D, and it's going to hit all our targets. That is insane. So ideally, against melee cleaves, you want to have wounds up on all 3 targets, which is very possible with the new build they're going to give us. And you want to be putting D&D down and using Necrotic Strike in your D&D. So D&D can be used quite offensively. Like putting up Necrotic Strike stacks on 3 targets is mind-blowing. So that's good. That's a good change. Makes Death and Decay relevant in Arena. Okay? And RBGs, like, I cannot even... That is disgusting. Like, it's going to be insane. Okay, so yeah, we got the Veteran of the Third War buff. Bonestorm nerfed. Okay, so let's get into it, guys. Crypt Fever removed. Now, Crypt Fever in Legion was amazing against Mistweavers and Wrestler Druids, but they're removing it, and you're gonna see why. Don't worry. Ghoulish Monstrosity removed. I did like this city. I liked having army in arena, but to be honest, guys, I was not using it at around like in the 2.1k bracket in 2s, because it's just so easily kiteable, and it's just not an effective CD for how long the cooldown is. So it's okay. And here we go. Life and Death. Okay, Life and Death is a PvP talent. When targets afflicted by your Festering Strike are healed, you are also healed for 15% of that amount. In addition, your Virulent Plague now erupts for 400% of normal eruption damage when dispelled. So they've baked in kind of 2 different talents into this one thing. The tooltip's a bit confusing because Festering Strike is just our wound builder. It never puts a debuff on targets, but this is saying that Festering Strike will apply a debuff that whichever targets have this Festering Strike ability on them, we're going to be receiving 15% more. I think they meant to put Festering Wounds because that's how it normally works. When there are wounds on different targets, you're going to be healed, but I mean, that's very interesting. I think it's a tooltip error, but we'll see. But the 15% heal is amazing. So in threes, ideally, if they do mean Festering Wounds, you're going to want to have wounds up on all 3 targets to receive that passive healing over time. And this is going to be a must-have talent, guys. I think that's a very, very important talent to have. I mean, if it does actually literally mean Festering Strike, then just go ahead and Festering Strike 3 targets. Nothing wrong with that. Now, the next thing is very, very important. Necromancer's Bargain. The cooldown of your Apocalypse is reduced by 45 seconds. That's good. So, a 2-minute cooldown is now going to be like basically a 1 minute and 15-second cooldown. Let's just say like a 1 minute cooldown. But your Apocalypse no longer summons ghouls, but instead applies Crypt Fever to the target. Now, the ghouls are actually pretty important because they apply different debuffs. I don't know if you guys remember that from Legion. They apply like necrotic wound effects, they apply increased damage effects, and not having ghouls is kind of a letdown, but it is going to apply Crypt Fever, which is the talent they removed. Now, this is the new Crypt Fever. Deals 8% of the target's maximum HP in shadow damage over 4 seconds. That is busted. That is so amazing, guys. 8% of the target's maximum HP in shadow damage over 4 seconds. 8% of your HP in 4 seconds. That is insane. Healing spells cast on this target will refresh the duration of Crypt Fever. This has to be a 100% change. I don't think this will go through, but I can see what they're trying to do. Regardless, I think this is an amazing, amazing talent. This just complements what we do in Arena, is pressure, and the fact that you can't even, they're going to have to not heal for 4 seconds. Healers are going to have to actually track this debuff and not heal the targets. So this Crypt Fever always countered classes that had HOTS. So Mistweavers and Resto Druids constantly refreshing their HOTS on targets. It destroyed them. Crypt Fever in Legion was like my 3rd highest damage ability in 2s and 3s. This just amplifies that by 1,000 times. How are Resto Druids going to heal when they're constantly refreshing this dot on the target? Not my problem. So that's huge, right? These 2 talents, it's going to be interesting to see like what to pick. And then we've got a Necrotic Strike buff, guys. So previously it did 16% of our attack power, now it's doing 30% of attack power and converts 1 Festering Wound into a Necrotic Strike wound, absorbing, and then it actually used to do attack power absorption. Now they're making it 8% of the target's maximum HP in healing received. Fucking amazing, guys. We don't need our Necrotic Strike to be hitting like a wet noodle. We need it to be doing percent base damage of their HP pool. That is what we need, and that is what they've done. I think this will 100% go through, and that's exactly what we need. Pandemic removed, unfortunately, but you're going to see why it was removed. So they're kind of like taking away talents and baking them into new ones, even putting 2 talents into 1 new ability. Raise Abomination. Raises Abomination for 25 seconds. That's long, okay? That's very long. Which wanders within 10 yards of where it was summoned, applying Festering Wound when it melees targets and affecting those nearby with Virulent Plague. Amazing for RBGs, guys. So you're fighting on a flag, for example, Blacksmith Lumbermill. You summon this Abomination on top of the flag area where everyone's trying to, you know, attack. Amazing for like basically spinning the flag, and it's going to put wounds and Virulent Plague on everything else. This is 100% going to be our go-to talent for RBGs. Wandering Plague removed. So they've removed like 4 different PvP talents and basically given us 3 back. I have no problems with that whatsoever. Next, we've got PvP talents Transfusion. Now, what I find interesting about this talent is it says it's a PvP talent, but it doesn't say it in the tooltip. So it might actually be a talent for us outside of PvP, which would be great. Instantly generates 20 runic power, okay? Which is going to be like basically 1 Death Strike. And reduces the runic power cost of your Death Strike by 50% for 7 seconds. On a 45-second cooldown, we can basically spam Death Strikes. And yeah, so every 45 seconds, that's a guaranteed like 50% of your HP back. Amazing. Now, what's going to be interesting is, do they make this a PvP talent? Because if they do, we're going to have what... It's going to be so tough to choose between what talents. Honestly, right now, Necrotic Strike is a must. We need that in Arena. Then Life and Death. Life and Death's too good to not to have, especially in 3s. And the third one's going to be like an option of AMZ, Transfusion, or maybe one of your decomp auras. But I think Transfusion and AMZ are going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough, guys. Wow. Whew. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is what we needed. Again, this is subject to change. Things can change going into 8.1. I honestly think 8.1 will come out like early December maybe. So we've still got a while, guys. We still have to suffer. We have to suffer well this season, but just forget this season ever happened. Because next season, and hopefully seasons after that, are going to be great. Unholy, Death Knights in general, are going to be making a comeback. I am looking so forward to this. I'm going to be taking next season so serious, guys. This is amazing. So let me know what you think about the changes, all the different talents in the comments down below. Give the video a thumbs up. I will keep you guys up to date if anything changes, like tooltips and whatnot. I'll be doing that on my social media accounts. But I think this is one of the first patches where I might actually get onto the PTR, because this is huge, and I want to see like how this affects the class and just the flow of things. Maybe try out some arenas on the PTR, but I will have to transfer my character over and do that. That is a definite must do. But I hope that made your day, guys, because definitely made mine. That's great to see. Now let's hope that Unholy gets some love in PvE. So that's going to wrap up the video. Follow me on social media at MFWest WoW on Facebook and Twitter. And stay unholy, guys. Trust me, stay unholy. Peace.